No time for stalling. The wild is calling. When you risk it all, you learn to feel alive. Oh, searching for new life. Oh, reaching for new heights. Whoa, into the daylight. So open your eyes, we're making the climb, we're taking the dive deep into the wild. Oh, into the daylight. So open your eyes, we're making the climb, we're taking the dive deep into the wild. Deep into the wild. Deep into the wild. Deep into the wild.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ASEAN Future Sustainable Leaders 2021 for the pitching session of the junior category. Before we begin, I would like to give a warm welcome to Dr. Nani D. Tanzil, President of the ASEAN Accounting Education Work Group, Professor Rozainun Haji Abdul Aziz, Vice President, ASEAN Accounting Education Work Group, Ms. Elila Rasi Anak Perempuan Lachmanan, Director of the ASEAN Future Sustainable Leaders 2021 competition, and to our panel of notable judges for this morning, Dr. Aidi Ahmad Dewa from the Regional Center of Expertise on Education for Sustainable Development, School of Pharmaceutical Sciences, University Science Malaysia, Dean Paz L. Bobadilla from Manuel S. Enverga University Foundation, Philippines, and finally, the head judge for the panel, Professor Alan Frank Silva, National Association of CPAs in Education. And of course, the participants who have successfully made it up from the regional level of the competition, as well as everyone present here with us during this morning. My name is Nazan Ahmad, and I will be your host for today. First and foremost, I would like to thank the organizers, the International University of Malaya Wales and ASEAN Accounting Education Work Group for organizing ASEAN Future Sustainable Leaders competition. We would also like to acknowledge our partners, Regional Center of Expertise on Education for Sustainable Development, RCE Penang, University Science Malaysia, Universitas Katolik Parahyangan, Universitas Negeri Jakarta, Universitas Padjadjaran, Politeknik Negeri Medan, Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Ekonomi Ekuitas, Universitas Trisakti, and Universitas Muhammadiyah Sumatera Utara. And not to forget our esteemed sponsors, Business Council for Sustainable Development Malaysia, and Mr. Irwan Muhammad Lahuri, We warmly welcome you to the pitching session for the junior category of the 2021 ASEAN Future Sustainable Leaders Malaysia Case Competition. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, we would like to remind everyone to turn off your camera and to leave your microphone on mute throughout the event as to not disrupt the flow of the event. However, for the participants from the 7 junior groups for today, please turn on your camera when it is your turn. All right, so everyone, now I'm sure that most of you are eager to move on to the highlight of today's event, where we will listen as our participants pitch their ideas on sustainability. But firstly, allow me to give a brief history of the AFSL. The AFSL was officially launched in July 2021, and in October, we organized the AFSL at a national level where we had the competition in Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines. The winners from each country form new teams, which comprises team members from different nationalities. So in today's pitching, we will hear them compete and showcase their skills at the national level. Moving on to the rules for today, here are a few things you need to take note of. Number 1, each team will be given 6 minutes to pitch their ideas regarding sustainability. Number 2, our timekeeper will ring a bell once at the 4th minute mark as a first reminder. Number 3, the second reminder are 2 bell rings, which will indicate the 6th minute mark. This also means that it is the end of the pitching session. All right. So as stated previously by Mr. Sharil, please state your group number in your name. As an example, JR1-Nasan Ahmad. All right. Immediately after the 2 bell rings, we will proceed with a 10-minute Q&A session between the judges and the participants. The groups will then be evaluated based on their introduction, content, response and delivery, professionalism, and hard work. Before we pass on the floor for our first junior group for today, I would like to remind all of our viewers here once again with us to ensure that your microphone is on mute throughout the event. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now kick things off by watching the video from our first group of junior participants for AFSL, short for Sustainable Living, entitled The Silent Killer, Combating Climate Change. The team members include Masuri binti Yusuf, Nur Kamarina binti Azdilizan, Ashley Bialau, and Caesar Akilan Lee. Now, let's watch the video, shall we?
Under the busy streets, zooming traffic, towering skyscrapers, and smoking factories lies a silent but deadly adversary that is slowly creeping its way closer to engulfing the world. Climate change, a major problem that spares no one in terms of the damage that it can bring to our planet. It refers to the significant long-term changes in the global climate. What exactly causes climate change? Climate change is brought upon by global warming. The average temperature of the Earth is slowly rising because the heat is trapped in the Earth's atmosphere. So, what traps the heat? Great question. The Earth's greenhouse gases trap some of the outgoing energy in the atmosphere, which in turn warm the planet. If we let climate change continue to run its course, many will suffer from extreme weather, dirty air, rising seas, warmer, more acidic oceans, and imperiled ecosystems. These problems affect all life on Earth. This is the reason why we need an urgent and effective solution.
A pleasant day to everyone.
We would like to introduce ourselves.
We are Team 4FSL. We are 4 young advocates for sustainable living.
The 4 of us, as young as we are, believe we could be agents of change that will inspire a whole generation to save our planet.
That is why we are introducing the AAA for combating climate change, the Triple C.
Solving a problem requires knowing the very root of how it started and what keeps it going.
In our AAA program, we are taking 3 steps and merging them into this one movement
that will educate, encourage, and connect people of different nations to face the threat of climate change together.
Education is critical to promote climate action. Education can encourage people to change their behavior and attitude as it helps people make informed decisions. Basic education on the importance of the environment can empower all people, but especially motivates the young to take action. Under the awareness program, the team aims to spread awareness on climate change through campaigns on social media. Social media will play a significant role because of its massive reach and influence, especially to the youth. In social media, information spreads fast, and we must use this to our advantage.
Under the action program, the team aims to lead our fellow youth into taking a more environment-friendly lifestyle by introducing different actions that we can do in order to be of help to the battle against climate change. We will become advocates for climate action to the youth. Examples of these are Walk to the Market Day, Walk or Bike Day, No Meat Day, Be Mindful when purchasing, promote organic, energy saving, and sustainable products. Lifestyle changes, such as recycling, taking shorter showers, and make public transport as a main way of transportation. Be an ambassador for climate action to the youth. Reach out to friends and peers to join in combating climate change. Vote for leaders who are environmentally aware and are not afraid to make changes in the law for the sake of a better future.
With combined efforts for all countries and nations, we will be able to make a consequential change in developing a sustainable environment for the future. This is why we are proposing for the governments of all countries and nations to be a part of an agreement for lowering emissions by setting a long-term goal to limit the increase of global temperature. In order to maintain the integrity of the agreement, each country will collectively report on the progress that is made towards the long-term goal.
Just like how climate change is becoming a bigger threat by the second, we should also unite and be allies in combating our planet's biggest threat.
Every ear that listens, hands that work, and agreements that are made will play a colossal part in defeating climate change. This is a joint effort, and every small help counts.
No matter how big a puzzle is, if you lack one piece, it will never be complete. Think of our movement as a giant puzzle, and you are a part of it.
We at 4FSL can see a better tomorrow, where each and every individual is aware, is taking action, and is associated with their respective leaders.
In the battle against the silent killer, which is climate change.
All right, wonderful video from the Junior Group 1. So please welcome them for FSL. So I hope all of you have turned on your cameras. Ready? All right, so we have Kamarina here, Ashley. Caesar and Masuri is also here. All right, Caesar Akilan. So Ashley, you might want to find Caesar. Is he inside the meeting right now?
I think Caesar is not able to join us because he's from.
Excuse me. Caesar is actually joining. Please give him a minute. He's with us. All right. Thank you.
All right, sure thing. So we'll provide Caesar around a minute to enter the Zoom meeting.
Yes, I'm sorry. He'll be with you very shortly.
All right, sure. So anyone from the first group, do you want to share with us on how you got the name for your video, The Silent Killer, Combating Climate Change?
We mainly took inspiration from the title of the competition, AFSL, but we twisted around the meaning. It means for sustainable living. The for means for.
I see. All right, so your video is called The Silent Killer, right?
Yes.
So why is that?
Climate change is, people won't say climate change is a first world problem, but actually it has really detrimental impacts to our world, to us as humans. So that's why they are the silent killer, as we mentioned in our video.
I see. Wonderful initiative. Thank you. So how was the journey going from the regional to now that you guys are in the national level of the competition? So what do you guys think?
It is very different from when regionals, because in regionals we are all our team members are from the same school, so we it's easier for us to communicate since we're all living close to each other. But now we're from different countries, different areas, so the communication is quite hard there. But we managed to push through, and here we are.
Yeah, because we're doing online, right? Everything's online right nowadays, and you guys have to communicate everything virtually. So I hope it wasn't an issue for all of you.
I think I think the other group member of the group is already on board
So Caesar is in here, right?
under the name of
All right. Okay. So everyone, please welcome our first junior group for FSL. So the team may begin the pitching session starting from now.
Good morning. I am Nur Kamarina from Malaysia, joined with my teammates.
I am third from the Philippines.
I'm Ashley from the Philippines.
And I'm Mahsuri from Malaysia.
I have a simple question to you all. Have you noticed the effects of climate change worsening over the years? Day by day, the detrimental consequences of climate change are becoming more apparent. You can see this by recent events of natural disasters happening all around Malaysia and Philippines. I believe some of us here are victims of this devastating tragedy. That alone shows how climate change is really affecting our lives and how an immediate response should be in motion.
We at 4FSL are introducing the AAA program that consists of 3 basic components: awareness, action, and association. The goal of the program is to get everyone involved. This includes government officials, the children of tomorrow, and an everyday person like you and me. Together, in this fight against climate change, we can prevent and overcome some of the worst impacts of climate change for a sustainable tomorrow.
Imagine fighting an unknown enemy. You will most likely be defeated. In trying to win a battle, you must know and study your opponent. That is why we have awareness as the first step in our program. It proves to be a very important factor in combating climate change, because if people do not know what they're fighting for and how to fight it, it will lessen the willingness and drive of the people to Okay, so I think Mr. Suri is not available right now up to the speaker part. And if everyone is aware of the situation, surely a drive into action is instantaneous. We have mentioned several lifestyle changes in the video that we can implement in our daily lives. However, is these lifestyle not impact the
Sorry, I'll restate what Ter have mentioned. Basically, we have awareness as our first step in our program because it is an important factor in combating climate change. Because if people don't know what they're fighting for or how to fight it, it will lessen the willingness for them to take action. So if people know the complete ins and outs of this battle, we can all fight climate change with passion and with the future in our minds. Masuri, I'll hand it to you.
Okay, thank you, Kama. In this situation, if everyone doesn't aware, surely a drive into action, instantaneous. We have mentioned several lifestyle changes in the video that we can implement in our daily life. However, it's only a handful of individuals practice this lifestyle change, and what impact does it have in a broader spectrum.
That is why we are suggesting to start with a small group of people in our respective area. Then we will branch out to a bigger community to be a part of this movement. All progress and documentations will be posted under our hashtags, #Action Against Climate Change and #All for Sustainable Living.
This will broaden the influence that we have, and will push others to do the same thing too. The possibilities are endless under the action part. What the four of us need to do is to sustain a frequent activity on our social medias in order to keep the momentum going and reach more and more people that could result into hundreds or thousands or even millions of people taking action against climate change and doing their part.
I'll continue with third part. Climate change is a global concern. Each country and nation are dealing with this issue. Many efforts and initiatives are in place towards a common goal, achieving sustainability. It is important for all countries to come together to address the world's biggest threat. We at 4FSL are proposing for the governments of all countries in ASEAN to join hands in an agreement for lowering global emission.
Thank you, Kama. I will continue that. So similarly to the Paris Agreement, the government should have an action plan to substantially reduce global greenhouse gas emissions through the respective efforts. This will consequently reduce risks and impacts of the climate change. So youth will be leaders in this movement. So we are advocating to have the youth an ambassador of climate action.
Us, as sustainable leaders and advocates, we will make use of our voice to unite the youth in our country. We will serve as leaders to unite the youth in our respective countries. Together, we can voice out our concerns to the government to create an agreement between Asian countries.
I'll continue with the third part. Okay.
AAA on the whole focuses on being an effective, long-term adaptable approach that in hopes will be put into motion by all countries. Over-reliance on promises of new technology to solve climate change is enabling delay, and in simpler words, will not save the planet.
We must take an effective, immediate response that we have pitched to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. We are not alone in this fight. Together, hand in hand with different countries.
We are all suffering from the consequences of climate change, yet we are contributors to the problem all the same. It is time to take climate action and unite as a world for our world. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much to the 4FSL team for delivering the strong ideas. Now, let us invite our panel of judges for them to further inquire the team regarding the case.
All right, who would like to go first? Would it be ladies first?
Thank you very much, Professor Alan. So congratulations sa group. you have a very nice presentation. So to make it say in summary, can you give us the steps on how you're going to implement your program?
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Summary on how you're going to implement your program, your advocacies on climate change.
Hello, ma'am.
Anybody can answer it?
I can go
Hello,
first.
can I be heard?
Third, would you like to answer? I guess
Can I be heard? Am I clear?
Your signal is quite intermittent, Mr. Agustin. If you can like perhaps look for a location where signal is better. But in the meantime, the other members of the group can already answer the question of Dean Bobadilla.
I guess I can answer first. First step of our program is awareness. We will first create group social media pages throughout all social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, where we will first educate the public and everyone on the effects of climate change and the source of climate change and what we can do in the meantime. And in our action program, we have mentioned a lot in our video. We specifically target lifestyle changes that can be made by like people like by everyone, like no meat day or walking to the market day, use public transport, small changes, but in the bigger spectrum, it will make a huge difference if all of us does it. And in our last part association, we are advocating to unite all countries to aim for sustainability. So this includes countries we specifically mentioned Asian countries since we are all from Asia. We are comparing this to the Paris Agreement, similar to that. So that what includes in our program.
Okay.
Can I add?
Thank you very much. So that summarize how you're going to implement your program. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Dr. ID, do you have a question for our group?
Yes, thank you, Prof. Alan. Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, group one, junior one? Yes, right? Yeah, okay, all right.
We
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, first of all, congratulations. Yeah, it seems that you all four members, right? There are four of you, right? Yeah, Kamarina, yeah. Okay,
Yes.
four of you. So it seems that you have been working well, yeah, to come up with the project coming from two different countries. Okay, it's lovely to hear your ideas. Yeah. Okay, so your main target, your main objective is to create awareness, right? Am I right?
And also encouraging people to take action and not just wait around.
Okay, so two key points: create awareness, take action. Am I right?
And also uniting everyone.
Okay,
into
so
taking-
three. Okay, okay, good. So okay. So my question is a yeah, it's a beautiful plan, yeah. But then in reality, do you think it will work? Do you get my question? Okay, I'm saying again. It's a beautiful plan, yeah, on paper, but in reality, do you think it will work?
Ashley, would you like to go first?
No, you can go first.
Okay, so I think if we take this into consideration, I think it will work because we are using social media as our main way of communication, and in social media, information spreads fast. One thing can go viral in a matter of seconds. So that's why we think if we start to spread awareness on the detrimental impacts of climate change and really focuses on advocating for us to take action, I think people will start to care and actually take action. So I think it will work. Ashley, would you like to add on?
Thank you, Kama. I think at first it would be kind of hard to implement this. But taking what's happening right now in my country, in the Philippines, for example, with Typhoon Odette, we see the devastating effects that it has caused to different parts of the country. And this has actually stirred a reaction with my fellow youth. So people are starting to see how horrible the effects of climate change are to our country, how many lives are being lost, how the environment's being destroyed. So I see that we should take this sort of reaction from the people and turn it into something good. We are already starting to raise awareness of what climate change can do, because let's face it, natural catastrophes are inevitable, but because of climate change, their effects are being amplified. And we want to take this sort of fact and let people take action, like let this serve as a drive for them to take action. And ultimately, under our association part, as sustainable leaders or advocates of two different countries, we can make use of our voice to unite the youth in our country. So we will serve as leaders, we will serve as the people they will follow, so that, you know, it's sort of organized. They're not feeling lost, that they're alone in this fight. And together, we can voice out concerns to our government to create sort of an agreement between ASEAN countries and help fight climate change together.
Okay, all right, thank you, Ashley. So, okay, let's focus on the awareness point. Okay, your team want to create awareness, right? And they said just now, okay, one of the way is using the social media. So, and then I pick up point also, when you mentioned about social media, then you talk about youth. So are you saying that you are targeting youth only at the moment?
At the moment, we are, because youth are the leaders of tomorrow. Sorry, we're the leaders of tomorrow, and youth are the main target points in social media, anyways. So even if we are advocating in social media, I think we are only our biggest audience is the youth, and also yeah.
Okay, so have you done any research on the impact youth have on the country? Any statistic showing that if you target youth, then I mean the youth category, I mean the people, the young people in the country, they can bring changes. We have heard about it, right? So how real is it? Do you believe that young people can provide, I mean, can bring changes to the future of a country?
Ashley, would you like to answer?
No, it's okay. Just for your opinion. It's okay. I'm not demotivating your group. No. I want to hear the ideas because yeah, I love. I mean yeah. I believe the young people of the country is the backbone of the country. So now you were saying that you are using social media, which is the in thing among the young people, kan? So because I'm old people, so but I still trying to get along with the social media. But I believe if I've seen my children, so the way they grow up, all the social media the technology are part of their life now. So you are right, you're on the right path. Yeah, I think for me, you are targeting the social media. But now I think, but my question is, do you believe, do you think that your effort using the social media will have impact on your agenda?
I think it
will. And then, okay, just to add, to get you further, okay, what are the 3 changes that you see? Okay, I rephrase my question. Okay, now you're targeting youth using social media to create awareness, right, about climate change. Okay, what are 3 challenges that you may see in doing so?
3 challenges that we may see when trying to raise awareness
among the youth using social media.
The youth, first, I think the youth probably will just, for example, if I post something, they will just share, but they won't actually take action. The action is what is important, that will actually make a change. So I think that will be our main challenge, is to actually make a change in reversing the effects of climate change. And the second biggest challenge I can think of right now is trying to get people to care in the first place, because people think this is the government's job, they should think about it, but actually we play a huge role in it too. And the last one I can think of right now is, Ashley, would you like to say what you have in mind?
Yeah, Ashley? Anything that you have in your mind. Don't worry, you don't have to be very perfect. Don't worry. I just want to hear your thing, your thoughts. Anything, Ashley?
I think a major challenge that we will face when it comes to like the social media and the youth is mm, can you give me a minute to think?
No, but it's okay. It's all right. Okay. No worries. Because although I asked for three, it's okay. I got two good one already. Okay, wonderful ideas. So well done. Yeah. For the ideas, please work on the ideas. Yeah. So you are right. Yeah. Awareness is one thing, but doing is another thing. Yeah. So if you can get the youth to be aware and not only just sharing, but also they be part of the action, that will be wonderful. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Prof. Alan. Thank you, the group.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. ID. Let me just have one question for the group before we end this session. Um, I know that you would agree that on several occasions, the heads of the different states or governments in our region have already convened to talk about this climate change. But how come up to the very present, we still have this problem on climate change? What seems to be the problem?
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Mr.
Hello?
Agustin, go ahead.
Okay. So what, in my opinion, I think the main problem on why we still haven't made any significant changes and progress in terms of defeating climate change is that we lack unity. And that is why we have come up with the three-step program to bring awareness. So people can have one goal in mind, and so they can work on that goal together as a team and unite together. I think unity is really lacking in terms of implementing action, because one faction thinks an idea while the other thinks of something else. So in our awareness program, we aim to connect people to have the same goal so that they can work on the same goal and unite together to make changes or progress in the battle against climate change.
Okay, thank you so much. Just one follow-up question. I think everybody knows what we should do in order to save our environment, right? However, for some reason, we are not doing these courses of action. You mentioned about unity and all. I do agree with that. But is there another reason why we are not so supportive of programs in order to protect our environment? And again, what should we do to address this?
Can I answer?
Go ahead, Miss Ashley.
I believe that there is not enough clamor when it comes to the discussion of doing things that are good for our environment. Like for example, I think we lack accountability in terms of holding the people in power accountable for making decisions that would benefit our country more than benefit our climate more than our own personal interest. And I think that we need to raise awareness on that and hold them accountable as youth, and actually really push them more to act more, because climate change is really getting worse by every day.
Thank you so much for that. I do agree. Personal interests are getting into the way of doing what is right. With that said, I turn you back to our moderator. Sir?
Thank you very much, Professor Allen. So thank you very much to the panel and the team for the splendid input and work. It's very nice. All right, so now we're done with the group from 4FSL. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations. All right. So moving on to the second junior group for today. Everyone, please welcome Herani, with team members consisting of Daphne Manditin, Anis Sofia binti Shaiful Azhab, Nisha and Umila, and Reni Ray Guadalupe. For the stated names just now, please turn on your camera. Now, let's watch their video on Battle Against Our Tainted Domain, a case study on global pollution. We can begin with the video presentation.
Are you aware that the leading cause of death in the world is pollution? It kills more people than war and is a major contributor to diseases. Research conducted by Greenpeace Southeast Asia found out that 25 million people died in 2020 due to land, water, air, and other kinds of pollution. Urbanization and plastic also contribute to pollution, including the burning of fossil fuels that decreases the quality of air. The negative impacts brought by pollution not only affect human health, but the overall condition of the environment as well. As pollution attacks economic growth and homes, those who are less fortunate end up suffering the most. Even with the presence of laws that are aimed to combat degrading environments, our ecosystem is still in dire threat, and the damage calls for immediate action and response. Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines have created their own programs and innovations that help lessen the impacts of pollution. There is the Plan of Action on Marine Plastic Debris in Indonesia, the EcoNice Company in Malaysia, and the Clean Development Mechanism Program in the Philippines. These are not the only programs set to better our world. There is also the Global Call to Action formed by the United Nations, the Sustainable Development Goals.
The SDGs number 12, Responsible Consumption and Production, 14 Life on Water, and 15 Life on Land have the primary goals of eradicating major threats to the environment.
Their targets include the management of all waste through their cycles. This includes preventing pollutants from furtherly damaging land and marine life. These goals involve different stakeholders, including consumers, businesses, researchers, scientists, and more.
Team Herani came up with an organization that can counter one of the greatest contributors to pollution, that is plastics, with SDGs 12, 14, and 15 as a foundation. Introducing PC, Plastic Community.
Plastic Community is a community that collects plastic in exchange for products. Imagine a place where you can trade plastic for goods and at the same time contribute to lessening pollution. As plastic waste is collected, it will be segregated and distributed to our channels for recycling. Aside from that, Plastic Community aims to collaborate with companies that use plastic waste to create products and sell them through various accessible channels.
With PC, your trash has value. Our community urges participants to use polycarbonate rather than disposable plastics. PC will also hire people living in less fortunate areas to give chance to those in difficult situations and to decrease the unemployment rate in various areas. Just like every community, PC also has its own currency that will be the key to sustainability: Plasti Currency. The currency allows people to yield their plastic waste in exchange for plastic currency points. These points can be monitored through our website or on-site facilities available in their area. Each individual participating in the PC community will be given a card that they can use to cash out the points or use to redeem the plastic-based products available in Plastic Community. This card also serves as a bonus for being a part of our association. We cannot end global pollution in a blink of an eye.
What can we do is paralyze the continuous damage of pollutants to our environment and strive to reverse the impact of global pollution.
Finding alternatives to dirty sources of the energy prevent plastic from entering the never-ending cycles of pollution.
Join Team Hirani in our battle against the tainted domain.
All right, thank you very much to the Herani team. So I can see Nisha, and so there's two more of you. So there's three more of you, right? So there's Nisha, Daphne, Annie Sophia, and Rennie Ray. All right, so I can see Nisha, Daphne, and Anis. So Nisha, do you mind telling us whether Rennie is with us today?
I'm not actually sure at the moment because I believe he's also having connection problems since he was also affected by the typhoon.
I see.
Hello, hello.
Yes.
He's here.
Am I like?
Yep,
I'm Rani. I am using Sir Agustin Bacrat's phone. Yes.
All right, all right. All
Okay, thank
right,
you.
all right, okay. So without further ado, so to the Herani team, you may begin the pitching session starting from now.
Okay, so hello, good day. I am Nisha Umila along with my group mates Rani, Anis, and Daphne. We are Team Herani, and Team Herani actually represents independence, innovation, action, sincerity, and courage. We'll be presenting to you, of course, our business idea for PC Plastic community. So like in the video stated, imagine a place where you can get products in exchange for your plastic waste and at the same time contribute to lessening pollution. We have created the idea for an organization which is going to be a stepping stone towards a better future, not only for the environment, but also for us. So here's how things in the plastic community will go. As plastic waste is collected, it will be segregated and distributed to our channels for recycling. Aside from that, plastic community aims to collaborate with companies that use plastic waste to create their products and sell them through various accessible channels. Basically, what we will be selling are plastic waste and plastic. You're probably thinking by plastic waste, right? Since the increase of awareness on global pollution, many companies have actually had a change of heart and they were inspired to incorporate green solutions through their products. What we will be doing is we are going to provide them with the material that they need to create those products, those green products. One great example of that is the Adidas company. For example, they recycle plastics, they turn them into thread, and then they use that to make their shoe products. There are other companies like this, like the Fab Habitats plastic rugs and the Recover Band clothing that creates clothes out of plastic waste. And yeah, these companies are going to be our consumers as well as advocates for the environment. So to add more about our marketing opportunity, I'll be calling on Daphne.
Okay, thank you, Nisha. For the market opportunity, many companies are changing and moving to green product, and since it is popular, we will that change to provide them with the material they need. Yeah.
So yes, basically we will provide them with the materials that they need to create those green products, and we actually also have programs under this this PC plastic community, which will be discussed further by Rani. Okay, I will continue instead. So we actually have three programs. The first program that they are 3 year-round programs. The first one is the Stay a Waste Cleanup Drive, which will be incorporated in 2 chosen different locations. Plastic Convention, where scientists are invited to share their researches and inventions about plastics that can better the situation in our environment. And of course, we have the Plastico Lab. Here we actually invite innovators and other scientists to also share prototypes of their new inventions that help or contribute to the SDGs. So here are our critical points. Who will we employ under this? We'll actually employ people in less fortunate areas to give chance to their difficult situation and to actually also lessen the unemployment rate in various areas. So how will we make this sustainable? Plastic is actually always with us, and it will really take a long time for it to disappear from our lives. So it is a sustainable, self-sustaining organization. So what we have to do as students is we actually have to start now as students. We actually start within our schools. We collaborate with science clubs and other programs for schools to collect plastic waste. And by the end of every week, we sell them to a junk shop. And then the money that we earn there, we could actually give it to donations and others. Yes. We actually do not need funds to start since we are starting at a school level and it is a self-sustaining organization. Our main goal is to ask for more on partnerships. So we start from our school, next to the barangay, next to the other community, to the city until it expands. And we can actually incorporate this whole idea already. That I believe that Rani has more information in it, but I'm not sure if he can answer right now. But yes, according to him, in his community, I think the LGU has can approve of our idea as long as we present it well, and that they can incorporate it within their community where Rani is located. So yeah. So to promote our whole programs, we will actually be using flyers, posters, and other programs, as well as sharing also on social media, like the previous group that mentioned. Those are actually big platforms for us to start. And yes, I think pretty much that is it. Anis and Daphne, would you like to add any more?
Thank you, Nisha. About the plastic community, what should we add now? Because it is the best time to wake up from the nightmare, never look back, straightforward on what we must do for our better future. And it is not too late, and we have to take this chance and golden opportunity to overcome this. Remember, it will always be a possible outcome if we work together now. The most important is our self-esteem and how we want to collaborate with our society. I believe we can break this biggest war in our world and become peace forever. It is the worst time, but it's also the best of time because we still have a chance. Thank you.
All right. So thank you very much to the Hirani team for the insightful research. So now let's begin with the 10-minute Q&A session from our respected judges.
I'll be the first again.
Go ahead, Dean Pass.
So that I will be setting the tone.
Right.
So again, thank you very much for that nice video presentation. And you mentioned the different programs and activities to combat pollution. My question is, what do you think will be the specific contribution of the youth in implementing your program? So what would be your specific contribution and the other members of the young generation?
I will go. I believe that the youth is very much a key to the influence of wanting to start this whole thing of working together and improving the economy and environment. Yes, we influence actually a lot of people. The youth actually has a lot of ways to share ideas, and we are very creative on it. It's just that now the problem is we are using those creativity on different things, and it's okay, but sometimes incorporating it to our environment and what it means is actually a good idea as well. So that's it for me.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Dr. ID?
Okay, thank you, bro. Okay, well done, man. Group 2. So before that, Nisha, you are from which country?
I'm from the Philippines po.
Philippines. And then Daphne from Indonesia, is it?
They're from Malaysia po, Daphne and Anis.
Oh, okay. The other one?
Rani is also from the Philippines.
Okay,
I'm
so from
the Philippines.
okay, from 2 countries only, yeah? Okay, all right. Tapi okay, it's okay. It's interesting to see in your video presentation you have covered 3 countries, yeah? So why 3 countries only, yeah? I mean to go for the effort, why not more than 3 countries? Because Action has more than 3 countries, right?
Well, we did think of this as a global scale project, of course, although I think it's better to start small first. So we started within our own countries so that we could see what needs to be improved. And yes, we will incorporate those improvements to the next countries that we open these up to.
Okay. All right. Based on your research.
So can I add something to what
Yeah.
Nisha has
Okay.
said?
Okay, please, Mr. Agustin.
So this program is actually a beta program launched in 3 countries, which is Philippines, Indonesia, and Malaysia. So first, we will gather the results from the program that we have launched here, like physical and online programs. And then after we have collected that result, we will analyze it, and then we will search for ways in order for us to better the program and like create a general solution to the problems as well. So the reason why we didn't create a program that is on a global scale, or we didn't implement this program on a global scale, is that we want to secure the quality of programs that we have in mind, so that once it was implemented, it will go smoothly, and every country participating won't face any errors or any like difficulties.
Okay, tak apa, it's okay. I think Mr. Agustin has problem. Okay, tak apa, technical problem. Okay, tak apa, carry on. Okay, so based on your research, so have any of the ideas has been done by anyone or by any country or any company or any government?
This plus the community po.
Yeah.
Well, I believe there are other programs that are similar to ours, like cleanup drives and collections. Yeah, but I think ours is also one of those similar. So
Okay, so there are similar projects. I mean, maybe the name is unique, right? I mean, your coin your project as a plastic community, right? But then within that there are many activities, yeah, for you to achieve the community, yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay, so then you mentioned just now maybe some of the activities has been done before, can by somewhere else by somebody else, right? So what are the unique thing about your project? If this work has been done by other people, why do you want to repeat the same thing? So what are the uniqueness? What are the uniqueness of your project? Maybe you can think of. You share with me three uniqueness.
Hello.
Okay, please proceed. Yeah, Mr. Agustin. Sorry,
Or
Agustin
Rani?
and Rani. Sorry.
Mr. Guadalupe.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay. I think really the internet connection of our delegates
based
from
on like plastic bottles and
I guess Mr. Guadalupe is from Southern Philippines, who is actually affected by the recent typhoon Odette.
That's
so perhaps the other members of the group can address the concern, the question.
Yeah.
Wait.
What about the other group members? Yeah.
Back.
And the other team members, would you like to answer?
Yeah.
Miss Anis, Miss Daphne, would you like to answer? Okay, Nisha then.
So I'd also like to add that the people that we will be hiring under this organization are actually those living in less fortunate areas. And of course, we also want to address, like in the Philippines, there's actually a high rate
I'm
of
sorry.
unemployment. A high rate of unemployment. So which is why we also want to incorporate that. I think what makes it unique is that we provide more opportunity to them, as well as the local innovators here in our countries and our areas that have great ideas. Through our programs, we'd like to share that. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Shah. I think, personally, I feel, all the initiatives are good. Yeah. So it's doable. It will take time. But I hope the project, if you decide to proceed, I think you have to put things well planned. Yeah. Start small. Yeah. And it's good if young people can champion the agenda in the 3 countries. Yeah? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. ID. I just have one major question for you. Well, your proposal is quite promising and I think it is doable. But of course, this would only be successful if it will be supported by your respective governments, right? Now, if you are given the chance to talk to your respective government officials, what would you ask them in order to support your project?
I'll think about it for a bit po.
Of course, the other members of the group can also answer. Anis, Daphne?
Oh, Rani, I believe is trying to tell his answer through chat, if possible.
Rani, you may send your chat message. But while waiting for him, perhaps you can hear from the other members of the group. Anybody? Yes, Nisha, go ahead.
Sorry. I think one of the main things that we get asked from our government is actually partnership, since that will be also the key to continuing to continue the organization in keep it running. Yes.
What would be the role of the government in such partnership?
Maybe they could help us implement what we are looking for. Like for example, they could also help us with the spreading of awareness announcements and others.
Okay. So helping in information dissemination, promotion. That's what you're saying, Miss Nisha?
Yes, po.
All right. From Rani, Ray Guadalupe, he said that, would you like to read, Nisha?
Yeah, sure. Let me open. Okay, he says that global pollution is both an environmental concern and a health issue. So if we propose this solution to the government, our organization and the public will benefit from this.
All right. I think our 10-minute is almost up. So, okay, there's an additional chat. Go ahead.
Okay, the role of the government is to provide plastic community sites.
The provision of a location where you can do the segregation, perhaps, the collection of the plastic wastes. Okay. Thank you so much for having proposing a good project. I hope that this will not end in this competition. We do pray that this will really be part of reality, the future in the ASEAN region. Thank you so much. Back to our moderator.
Thank you, Po.
Thank you very much, Professor Allen. So thank you very much and well done to the Herani team for the perceptive case and also as well the panel of judges. So moving on to our third junior group, Kanan, we have team members Nurul Shafika, Arfah binti Arlizam, Joaquin Angelo Goaco, and Vilma Ray P. Gran. So do turn on your cameras, yeah? So before that, let's watch them showcase their video on well-being and socialization, its disappearance in the online environment. Take it away.
COVID-19 pandemic has forced schools in around the world to take their classrooms online. Both students and teachers are learning to make use of the various virtual tools and platforms as social distancing measures continue.
Stress, tension, mental exhaustion,
doubts.
These are only some of the things that students are experiencing in the online environment due to the lack of socialization.
Socialization is essential in every child's development. Through socializing, we learn how to manage our emotions, exchange ideas, and learn something new. Furthermore, the American psychologist Abraham Maslow stated in his idea of the hierarchy of needs that socializing with friends, family, or anyone is needed to live a happy life. Also, the educator Hafiz Beck verified this concept in his 2017 study, Understanding the Effect of Loneliness on Academic Participation and Success Among International University Students. Beck's study states that students who feel lonely and isolated tend to spend their time idly and therefore do not thrive in academic environments. Lately, isolating oneself can also lead to mental unwellness or, in worst-case scenarios, mental illnesses. The well-being and socialization, its disappearance in the online environment case study focuses on 3 Sustainable Development Goals. SDG 3, Good Health and Well-being. SDG 4, Quality Education. And SDG 10, Reduced Inequalities.
Our team gives you Kanan, an in-school youth organization that creates and empowers youth leaders by collaborating with Southeast Asian secondary schools, with the aim of promoting the well-being and socialization of students and treatment of mental health illnesses. The organization has 5 aspects to tackle: interest,
recreation,
communication,
access,
and acknowledgement.
First aspect, interest. According to an article by the Mental Health Foundation, concentrating on a hobby can improve students' mental health. With this, we will empower leaders by educating them the necessary steps in creating and accrediting school-based interest clubs. This is Project Vocation, a project done through online courses where students will be able to experiment with new things, be creative, and have fun.
Second aspect, recreation. Being active can boost our self-esteem and can reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. According to Deborah Fulgum-Bruce, there is a release of endorphins in our brain that boosts our happiness when we engage in activity. With this, we give you Lively, a one-day recreational program that gives students the freedom to do activities that they love. For this to be realized, the organization will assist the leaders in creating a resolution for their school to observe this program.
Third aspect, communication. Talking about your feelings and knowing that someone is listening can help you feel supported, less alone, and maintain your mental health. We give you the Sincerely program, which allows students to share their burdens through online and phone calls. We will educate e-leaders to coordinate with their school's guidance counselor and implement this suggested program. But they are given the freedom to change the aspect of the programs with respect to the context of their school.
Fourth aspect, access. This is linked to the communication aspect. The organization will teach youth leaders to hold fundraising programs to buy basic technology. This is Project Connect, Connecting with Inclusivity, which seeks to give students and people in the rural areas the basic technologies needed to access Sincerely Me program and telehealth services.
Fifth aspect, acknowledgement. The organization will hold an annual summit, Unite. This is the Kanan's participating schools online convention where each school will present the best practices on mental health. The best implementing school will also receive an award. In this event, government leaders will be invited to take part. We hold that dream of a world where everyone has access to necessary remote mental health services.
Where young leaders are empowered to take necessary steps to promote mental well-being.
A world where people are wiser to empathize and kinder to respond.
Our team, through Canon, is here with you to make this vision a reality.
Be proactive.
Be kind.
Let's mind the mind.
All right, thank you very much to the Kanan team. So now we have Arfa and Joaquin, and I think it's to Vilma. We're waiting for
Good morning, sir.
Vilma and Nurul Shafika. Is it? Yeah, right. So we have Arfa and Joaquin. Do you guys?
Good morning, sir.
Concerning our other group mates, Vilma has been affected by the typhoon, so she might not be joining us
Excuse
today.
me, I'm
Oh, ay, nandito pala. Oh, wait,
hello.
sorry.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, yeah. As for Pika, she has been experiencing some difficulties as well, and she has been dealing with family matters. So she might not be joining us.
All right, sure. So we have Arfa, Joaquin, and Vilma. Yes.
Yes.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Sure. All right. Thank you, guys. So everyone, thank you very much to the Kanan team. So that was a great video. And without further
Thank you,
ado,
sir.
your pitching session will begin starting from now.
Could we share a presentation, a PowerPoint?
Yes, of course.
But I think we need to be a co-host in order for us to share screen.
All right, just 1 second.
Yes, please.
All right, you can present now.
Thank you. And I'll be sharing now. Is my
Yes, we can see you. Okay. Yep.
Okay. Okay, there. Okay, so we'll start now. So in our school, students are bombarded with homework. The teachers give assignments, group works, and put us in a situation where we need to attend their discussion, even if they call this flexible learning. Yet, not all of us have the time nor the resources. Some of us have an increased number of chores. Some of us have jobs. Some of us don't even have devices or the internet for this online setup. Yet, we are still drowning.
The online environment is the educational institution's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Students got excited because after a year, they are given a chance to socialize with their peers. However, that's not the case. The socialization they long for did not happen, and this affected their mental health.
People usually start their day neutral or zero, but as for students who have problems with their mental health, they begin the day with a negative number. And although there are things that might increase their number, for students with mental health problems, this won't suffice. Hello everyone, we are Team Kanan, your right hand in the quest towards sustainable development. I am Arfa.
I am Joaquin.
And I am Vilma.
So today, our topic will be well-being and socialization, its disappearance in the online environment. The Sustainable Development Goals that we will tackle are SDG 3, Good Health and Well-being, SDG 4, Quality Education, and SDG 10, Reduce Inequalities. To be more specific, by using targets 3.4, 4.8, and 10.3.
Okay. As mentioned earlier, we use 3 SDGs targets to guide us in our rationale. Target 3.4 discusses mental well-being. Target 4.8 discusses effective learning environments, and Target 10.3 discusses equal opportunity. The first half of our rationale is the situation of the students regarding their environment. Studies show that providing the holistic needs of students is positively correlated with their learning journey and employability. Social isolation is also strongly associated with poorer learning experiences as compared to psychological isolation. Also, students who feel lonely and isolated tend to spend their time idly and therefore do not thrive in academic environments. Furthermore, according to Tulane University, this isolation or lack of socialization is associated with depression, anxiety, and a trigger word, suicide. The second half of our rationale is the situation of the education sectors of ASEAN countries. Most students and educators, typically those in rural areas, don't have access to devices and the internet for learning purposes and even for health and well-being purposes, such as for therapy and counseling. This graph is an estimate. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. This was my slide earlier. So this graph is the estimation of prevalence of depression and its symptoms. From this, we see that prevalence of depression increased significantly in 2020. Here.
With this, our team gives you Canon, schools, well-being and socialization of students, and treatment of mental health illnesses. Canon will collaborate with schools in Southeast Asia to create the Canon chapters in fulfill the objectives the organization tackle. Interest, recreation, communication, access, and acknowledgement.
The first aspect is interest. We will hold online conferences that will allow students to do what they love to release their stress. During the online conferences, the students will do their interests such as painting, drawing, singing, dancing, and gaming. The team will invite experts in the field to teach the students and make this class more interesting. The finished products of the students during the online conferences will be used in the live auction and online showcase.
Second aspect, recreation. The organization will educate the youth leaders to create a resolution for their school in observing this program. The Lively program is a program suggested by the organization that gives the students the freedom to do the things that they love. This program is linked to the project avocation, wherein the interest clubs can submit an activity that they wanted to do for the day.
The third aspect is communication. We will create a platform that will allow students to send their letters or problems. We will disseminate the information about the program on the social media platforms. We will also organize the letters and send it to the guidance counselor. We will gather the response of the guidance counselor and send it to the anonymous student.
Fourth aspect is access. Giving people access to our Sincerely Me program and telehealth services. The organization will educate youth leaders to hold fundraising programs to give people in the rural areas the basic technology needed to access telehealth services. Canon will organize fundraising activities such as live auction that features the artworks and products of the students during their online conferences and other materials that are made during the online conferences where students discuss their interests. Online showcase will feature the talents and skills of students, and it will serve as the result of the online conferences. However, the youth leaders will be given the freedom to do fundraising programs that suits the concepts of their school.
And lastly, acknowledgement. Uniting all the youth leaders. At the end of the year, the Canon will hold a meeting for the youth leaders to track the progress of the programs in each chapter and discuss the rising issues regarding the mental health and well-being of students.
All in all, we see that well-being and socialization has disappeared in the online environment. We aim to promote a positive change by giving all students an opportunity to explore their interests with an organization led by the youth themselves. So, this is where young leaders are empowered to take necessary steps to promote mental well-being, and where people are wiser to empathize and kinder to respond. Our team, through Canon, is here with you to make this vision a reality. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
For references.
Okay. So thank you very much to the Canon team, and what a wonderful presentation that was. And just a little note for the Q&A session we have next up. If you are experiencing any technical difficulties, other team members will take over and we will inform you within the chat box. So let us move on with the Q&A session from our panel of judges.
Oli.
Go ahead, Dean Bobadilla.
So again, congratulations. That was a very nice presentation. We in the academy really is experiencing this kind of situation. And in your presentation, you have given some programs and wherein which we can minimize or we can still maintain our mental health. Now my question is, on your own experience, did you experience those situations? You have a problem with regard to your studies, with regard to your connection, or any other situation you are in? And how did you overcome it? What did you do to overcome those problems with our situation nowadays?
Okay. So yes. Okay, so the inspiration for our topic, which is well-being and socialization, is actually stemmed from my school here in Baguio City, Philippines. This is where our students, specifically my science high schoolmates, have experienced difficulties with their schoolwork, where we have a grace period where it's for us to catch up with our work, but we've still been bombarded. And for me, as a student who is active in extracurriculars, I've been working nonstop where I spend around maybe 15 hours a day just catching up with my requirements and spending the other part of my time doing my extracurriculars. And that doesn't really help with the chores that I have here at home. And for the other students, because we've actually conducted a survey in our school, but it's not really a scientific survey, it's more about checking for their well-being. Some students actually already have jobs, as I stated earlier in our presentation. Some are in a different time zone where it's already the middle of the night when studies are already starting, where there's synchronous classes. So we've been bombarded with this, and the mental health aspect, we've lost socialization, where it's hard to talk to our friends because sometimes they're asleep and sometimes we're awake, and most of the time our chats with our friends are just about schoolwork, and we don't really have the time to talk about our interests anymore. So it's really stressful, and personally I've encountered burnout, anxiety, and sometimes a few breakdowns that I'm not really proud of. So this is why I'm really passionate about our topic here, which is about well-being and socialization, especially for the mental health.
So
can I add something to what my teammate has said?
Yes, you can.
Actually, this topic is the topic that our members can relate the most, because, for example, right now, there was a typhoon and we have problems in connecting with the internet, and we're having difficulties in finding connections just so we can connect to our online classes. So that frustrates us, and we carry that inspiration with us in creating those programs and in creating the organization. Thank you.
Okay, so after this, really there are lessons learned with our situation, and we are very thankful that you have this presentation, because it will help us a lot, particularly those in the academy or our government officials, so that we can lay some policies, and of course we hope that we can overcome this pandemic so that we can have a face-to-face meeting next year. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Dr. ID.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Prof. Okay, well done, Group 3. Group kanan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Again, I was wondering why you have chosen kanan as your group name? Briefly, let me know, please.
Okay. During our first meeting, we actually searched for words that are common for both Malay and Filipino, and we found kanan. And it rang a bell to us, like we wanted to be an organization in the quest towards sustainable development. That's it, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you for the response. And one of the SDG goals your group have chosen is inequality, right? To address the inequality, right? Okay.
Sir.
Do you think by choosing the word kanan, you are kind of being unequal to people who are left-handed?
Oh, so okay, so kanan is not really just left or right. There's always a wrong way and the right way, and we're focusing on the right way.
So are you saying the left-handed person are doing the not correct way?
No,
That's just
sir.
a similarity in the name, but right-handed people are not always right. Though it may have a similar name, but it doesn't have the same meaning. Yes.
Okay, all right. No, my point here is sometimes we have to choose the appropriate names, because it's very important, because you don't want people to be offended, especially the left-handed person. Again, it's okay if you want
Okay,
to use the word kanan, but make sure when you justify it, try to put it into a very harmonious way. Yeah. But by the way, I'm right-handed. I'm not left-handed. Okay. Okay. Last question. Yeah, last question. It's okay. Just have it done. Okay. My point is, okay, all the activities are good. Were tremendous. Like the other group also very refreshing. Yeah. Again, my concern is the timeline.
Thank you, sir.
The timeline. Okay. How long do you put on papers of the job? I mean the duration of the project. So do you have any plan? Let's say, what do you want to achieve in the first maybe 6 months? Or before that, how long is the project? Is it how many years?
Yes, sir.
Proposing how many years?
Okay, so
Actually, sir, it can continue for many years, sir.
Okay, so the
I'll
immediate
continue working.
activities.
Okay, so for our plan is it would be an annual program. So for every year, it will be a refresh where it's the succeeding year levels that will be leading. So for example, since there are 12 grade levels here in the Philippines, the grade 12 would be leading the organization in the school. And then for the following school year, it would be led by the incoming grade 12. So we're trying to make this sustainable. And for every year, we're going to do a check-up. So is our school ready to expand? Because our plan is our school, so Arfa School, Pika School, Vilma School, and my school will start the Canon organization. And we're going to share our notes. And if it's effective, then we will call on the schools in our area. So for me, the city of Baguio, something like that. And if it's still not effective, of course, we're going to tweak our programs to make it more accessible for all. So really, we are focusing on ourselves first, on our specific schools. And once we are ready, we're going to expand to the area. And once we've expanded to the area, we're also going to encourage those the youth that are not really in schools. So we'll also be providing them access to our help, so which is the telehealth and the mental health well-being and the socialization aspect. So in short, we're really focusing on our school first on the first few years, maybe the first year or the first 2 years. And then after that, we're going to be slowly expanding until we can reach the national level here in the Philippines and Malaysia, and then maybe start in Indonesia and other ASEAN countries.
Okay.
Can I add something?
Okay. Yeah, please.
We made okay. For the first, we will start the first 2 months to promote the well-being and socialization of students and the treatment of mental health illnesses. Then, at the end of the year, we will have an annual summit where we will promote the well-being.
Okay, that's wonderful. But I wish don't I think you don't have to wait for 2 years. I think you can start early. Even I think within the 6 months, you can start from your own community, right? Because I think Arfa from Malaysia, right? So Jaquin, and also just now sorry, your name Grant, right? Grant from Philippines, right? I think both of three
Yes,
of you
sir.
can, and also the other team member Afika also I think you can start from within your school community, and then you connect
sir.
4 of you, so you don't have to wait 2 years. Yeah, I think because all the ideas are good already, because we have different activities for different 5 categories, right? That is wonderful.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so now the challenge is whether you can put it you can translate it from paper into activities, and start connecting. Yeah. So I think that's the biggest challenge lah. So don't stop. Yeah. Okay, it's a wonderful idea.
Sir. Thank you so
wonderful
much.
ideas. Yeah, please. Yeah, do make it into reality lah. Right. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much, Dr. ID, for your set of questions. From my end, may I just be clarified? Reducing inequality is one of the SDGs that you'd like to address, right? Can you elaborate on this in like 1 or 2 sentences?
Okay, so reduce inequalities by providing the devices and the necessary things needed to give access to everyone for our Canon project, which are electronics and the internet, and for mental health and for learning purposes.
All right. Okay. And then I have another question. I'm sure later on in the run of your projects, you'll be inviting psychologists, perhaps, or guidance counselors. Am I correct? Because your
Yes.
primary
Yes, sir.
concern is about mental health. But are there
Yes, sir.
other professionals that can come in handy in order to ensure of success in your project?
For our part, it's not really focused on the academics, but more on the interests. So people of inspiration. So for example, famous gamers or influencers like YouTubers, because that can really inspire our students or the youth to try more and explore their interests where they aren't really bounded by what must be done and like that. So it's really a whole variety of influential people that can inspire them to do more. So it's not really just limited to guidance counselors for the mental health, but also for them to explore their interests. So it can just be a painter, it can also be an author. So it's really wide, a wide choice.
Okay. Thank you so much. I guess that would now end our Q&A for your group. Thank you so much for joining
Thank you
this
so much.
competition, and all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor Allen.
Let's go back to our moderator.
All right, thank you. So thank you very much to the Canon team, and of course the input from Dr. Heidi Hamad regarding the name. So a very wonderful pitching session indeed and presentation. So now we will welcome our 4th group for today, named Elpida. The team comprises of M. Koirul Izan JF, Nur Adila Shafia binti Muhammad Rusli, Sean Allen Siegfried Bugarin, and Nirmala Putri. Like I have stated before, do turn on your cameras. So now let's take a look at the video on global warming in Southeast Asia.
The Philippines tops a list of countries most susceptible to hazards caused by climate change.
In Malaysia, temperatures often reach daytime highs of around 33 degrees.
Indonesia says it's dedicated to climate target.
The Earth is now in agony. Due to this global warming, Southeast Asia faces countless ramifications. The Earth's temperature increases drastically like never before. Acute storms, floods, and extreme weather hit these countries, causing us to live in torture. Biodiversity species are slowly extinct day after day. Plus, ocean and seawater level is now continuing to rise as a result of iceberg melts. Human sources of food have also been decreasing for the past decades owing to this tragic phenomenon. Droughts also happens, making our land unfertile and dry, causing our agriculture activities to be affected. Even our own health is now in peril. Diseases like dengue and malaria are now easily spread in hot temperatures. Nevertheless, the worst sequel is yet to come. This phenomenon is responsible for about 13 million lives globally each year. Yet, the real question is, who to blame?
We as humans are the villains. According to numerous studies, human activity is the primary cause of global warming. When greenhouse gases build up in the atmosphere, they absorb sunlight or solar radiation reflected off the Earth's surface. As a result, activities like producing electricity or heat, manufacturing, and industries that use coal, fossil fuels, oil, and natural gas emit significant amounts of greenhouse gases. So with all these problems, how can we put a stop to this? It is never too late to escape from this burden. Our proposed idea is to generate an app called the GG or Green Globe. This app functions as a game, social media, and an online store. Firstly, the game provided in the app is called Treesies. The Treesies is where people can plant as many trees online until the tree grows. The organization of the GG is going to plant a tree in real life. This tree planting leads to an increasement of oxygen and lessen the carbon dioxide gas in the atmosphere. Secondly, social media in the app can educate people to practice more sustainable actions. Thirdly, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines can open stores with different franchises called Go Green. The stores can work as a recycling center and sell varieties of merchandise made up from recycled things. Which is why the third function of the app, which is the online store dedicated to purchase Go Green merchandise, comes in handy. We are taking advantage of technology, media, and entrepreneurship to solve our environmental crisis. But how can we make sure that our solution is successful? It's really simple. The app users will receive green money. Green money is basically digital money by the app in which they can convert to real money. They earn it based on how much they interact with the app. The green money can be used to buy the merchandise sold in Go Green without converting it to real money. Finally, in order to put this idea into action, the government can play a foundational role in funding the development of the app and construction of the stores. And then the app's profit from the advertisements and investors will then be used to continue the funds needed for the app, the organization's tree planting, and the franchises. The government plays the role of funding, and the students and the society plays the role of publicity for the app and the franchises.
So let us work together
to prevent global warming
with the use of technology, media.
All right, thank you so much to the Elpida team. So now I can see that all of you are here. Great. So we have Nirmala, Adila, Sean, and Koirul. All right. So without further ado, your 6 minutes pitching session will begin starting from now.
Hello, can we share our screen? Oh, there we go.
Elpida, a hope for a better sustainable Earth.
Greetings to all the respected judges, talented contestants, and dearest audience. We are from the group Elpida. I'm Sean Allen Siegfried Bugarin from University of Baguio Science High School, Philippines.
I'm Nirmala Putri from SMKN 1 Cipendei, Indonesia.
I'm Nur Adila Shafia from SMK Kapababa, Malaysia.
And I'm Muhammad Khairul Izan from Sekolah Indonesia Kota Kinabalu, Malaysia.
On this delightful day, we would love to present the topic about the worldwide worst nightmare, which is global warming. The case study that we made was guided by our brilliant mentor, Dr. Thea Suaco. Besides, we think that the combination of the 3 SDGs, which are SDG 13, 14, and 15, are perfect to represent this vital topic. Next, shall we hear from Adola to start our pitch?
Earth, a place full of peace, harmony, and comfort. We humans are lucky enough to call this significant planet as our own home. However, what are ways that we ourselves had destroyed it? Global warming is defined as a gradual increase in the overall temperature of the Earth's atmosphere that is generally attributed to greenhouse effect. According to an ongoing temperature analysis by GISS, the average global temperature on Earth has increased more than 1 degree Celsius since 1880. Moreover, natural disasters frequently happen around us nowadays. Indonesia faced over 70 floods and landslides only in 1 month, which is in June 2021. The Philippines experienced extreme El Nino in 2016, resulting in reduced rainfall that led to dry spells, drought, and stronger typhoons. Besides, nearly 30% of Malaysia's coast is threatened by erosion due to rising seawater. Biodiversity species also become extinct over time. Food resources are lessened as well as their agriculture activities are affected. Not to mention, diseases are also easily spread in hot temperatures. We really need to focus on this issue so that we won't lose millions of lives to global warming again. That's all for me. Can you continue, please?
Gladly, Adila. First of all, I would like to point out the main cause of global warming is ourselves, humans, who knows that our daily activities become a hazard to Earth. For example, the generating of electricity using non-renewable energy. In 2020, 78% of Philippines' electricity production was sourced from fossil fuel. The burning of fossil fuel will emit greenhouse gases such as nitrogen oxide into the atmosphere. Secondly, manufacturing and industry activities contribute 14.5% of the total greenhouse gas in the world that result in the rise of Earth temperature. Besides, the transportation sector showed the use of total 59% consumption of gasoline and 44% of petroleum record in 2020. I also noticed that humans have the habit of unhealthily over-consuming goods that can cause pollution. Uncontrollable lodging result in increase of carbon dioxide as well. Sean, what should we do?
So we have two proposed ideas that are connected for our solution. It is one, to generate an app called the Green Globe, and two, to build stores named Go Green that also function as a recycling center all throughout Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines. So the app functions as a game, social media, and an online store for our franchises. The game provided in the app is called Treesies. It's a tree planting game. In order for the users to take care of the tree they plant, there are simple tasks to do that are related to the environmental care. Once one of the trees they planted and taken care of reaches the growth limit, the app will send a signal to the Green Globe organization. The organization will then plant a tree in real life, dedicated to the virtual tree they planted on the app. Next is the social media of the app. The social media of the app can educate people to practice more sustainable actions, such as sharing how people reuse things in creative ways, how to save electricity at home, and many more. This way, we can influence people into living a more sustainable life, reducing the effect of global warming in numerous ways. And finally, the online store function of the app. So the online store of the app is connected to our second proposed idea, which is the Go Green. Since the online store specifically buys products and merchandises only being sold in the Go Green franchises. Now for the second part of our solution, which is Go Green. Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines can open stores with different franchises called Go Green. The stores can work as a recycling center and sell varieties and merchandise made up from the recycled things. Then the users will receive green money. Green money is basically digital money in which they can convert to real money. They earn it based on how much they interact with the app and how much they use the recycling centers. So basically, we are taking advantage of technology, media, and entrepreneurship to solve our environmental crisis. It's a good investment if you ask me. Nirmala, can you proceed with the conclusion?
In conclusion, global warming is one of the big problems on Earth that needs to be continuously developed in the form of smart innovation. In this case, we offer an application-based technology called Green Globe, which has various features and can accommodate things related to global warming, and is expected to be an alternative solution so that people are more aware of the importance of their role in fighting global warming. Great up for sustainable Earth. That's all from our LPDA team. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much to the team for the wonderful pitching session. So now we will move forward to the Q&A session from the panel of judges.
Again, I have the floor. It's now.
Of course.
So, it's really a very ambitious project But of course, with the use of technology and with the vibrant of the youth, and because of your interest, okay, I think you can do it. Now, my question is, what would be your initial steps in implementing your project? What are the first steps that you're going to do? Because I think you'll be proposing an application. So, what would be your initial steps that you're
So,
going to do?
so like we said in our pitch, in order to put this into action, first we need the government to play a foundational role in funding development of the app and possibly construction of stores. But construction of the stores are kind of optional because we can have partnership with other environment-friendly stores. Like some stores here in the Philippines are like the Eco Store, Human Nature, Kata Lifestyle Store, and some in the Malaysia are, I think, is the Zero Waste Store and the Hive Bulk Foods. And so, yeah, this is not a one-time solution. Our goal is to propose a solution that can be passed from generation to generation. We are not only thinking about the present, but for the future as well. So, yes, the funding is needed, but instead of thinking of it as cost, we like to think of it as investment for the sustainability of the future. So yeah, global warming has been here for a while now, and not only that, it is getting worse and worse. This proposed idea, like I said, can potentially help the future generations, but we won't be able to move forward without any professional help because, like you said, this is an ambitious solution. We need professional help for us to reach this. We might be able to do some stuff, but we won't be able to execute the whole idea.
Okay, so thank you very much. I think still there is a future so that we can combat with this global warming initially. Okay.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Okay, thank you, Dean Paz. Perhaps Dr. Aidi has his set of questions.
Okay, thank you. Nor Adila. Okay, Adila, can you hear me? You are muted. Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear you. All right. Okay. In your presentation, in the video just now. Okay. Before that, okay, well done. Group Junior 4. So nice presentation, nice video also. Okay, nice initiative also. But in the video, I noticed you ask question, who is to be blamed?
Yes.
So why you choose the word to be blamed? Why not you choose other positive phrase to bring up the issues? Why you using for me it's a negative word, to be blamed. So why we have chosen that word?
I chose that word because it was negative. Our actions, humans' actions, are negative to the earth. So it's suitable to use the word blame for us because we are the main cause of the earth global warming. So I think that is why we use blame. And besides, humans doesn't have the encourage to go. They do have encourage, but not too much at this moment. They still in the low level to do a solution for this earth global warming.
Okay, Hairul?
May I also add something to that? So,
okay, very short one. Okay.
Yeah, the to be blamed can be negative, but it is true that humans are really the ones to be blamed. We can't sugarcoat the word, that phrase, because the earth does not need us. The earth does not need humans. The earth can still live around. It does not need humans. We are the ones destroying the earth, and instead of just destroying the earth, why can't we save it? And like I said earlier, technology for sustainable future community, why not take advantage of technology? So yeah, the term can be negative, but we need to be real here. We can't sugarcoat.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Gets good strategy. Yeah, because when choosing words, because you are for me, this agenda, although just now you mentioned about funding, right? You are thinking to get fund, but before to get people to pay for you, you have to win their heart first.
Yes.
So to winning the people's hearts, you have to use nice word, can try to convince people, don't put blames on them. So don't make them, you try, I know, you try to make them feel guilty, but at the same time, you want to win their heart. So be careful of the words you are using. Yeah, I know. I'm also part of the people to be blamed, because but then be careful when try to win people's heart. Okay, one last question to Hairul.
Your suggestion is well noted, sir. It will be incorporated in our idea.
Yeah, I'm just saying my opinion. It's okay. Yeah, whether you want to accept it or not, it's okay. It's fine. Yeah. All right. Mr. Hairul.
Yes.
Okay. Just now going back to the fun. Yeah. Okay. In your project, your group tried to create apps and also store, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you begin with the project? Yeah, can your group begin the project without any monetary facilities at the moment?
Can you repeat, because there's cars in front of my house? Your question, can you repeat it again?
I cannot hear clearly your point.
One more time, please.
I mean, can you repeat your question?
Oh,
again?
repeat the question. Okay. Very short one, Jenny. Can your group begin the project without any money? Do you think your group can begin anything, any effort?
We can just collect the trash at the yes. I mean, yes, we can, because we can get a modal the money from nature.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Can I,
okay. Tak baik, sekejap. Wait, I just want to ask. Okay, Nimala dulu. Okay, Nimala. Okay, Nimala. Any of the group members have any apps, any skills? Any of the member have skills to create app?
Yes, because I major in computer and network.
Oh, that's good. Then you can start to create the apps without the money.
Yes.
And do you think you're capable to create the apps?
The basic.
Okay.
But we can develop the application.
Okay, all right. So the answer is yes, you can begin your project without any money first.
Yes.
Yeah, because in order to get money, you should have, people will ask you the track record. So maybe you can start without anything, just create simple apps. Start within your school, your school community, ask them to to download the apps and so on, try first. Then after that you have track records, then you can apply for money for the government. So they want my suggestion. All right. Sorry, Mr. Sean. Sorry, I want to ask your members also to give opinions. Okay. All right. Thank you, Prof.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. ID. I just have one question for you. I am struck by the word or the term green money. So this is something very creative, and I guess it is influenced or inspired by Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, like a gems. Am I
digital
correct?
money, cryptocurrency. Yes.
Right.
It has been booming industry.
Yes, it is. And my question is, do you see any impediments, barriers, or challenges with the adoption of this scheme?
Lately, I don't know any barriers about cryptocurrency for now, but maybe in the future. I'm not really that knowledgeable about Bitcoin specifically, but I do know that some cryptocurrency has like the stocks, they can go down. The stocks can go down, so that might be one of the problem when we're talking about digital money. When we're talking about cryptocurrency, the value or the worth is not constant.
So in other words, the risk is high. right?
Not really, not really. The risk is not really that high. It just depends on the stocks. As like I said, the stockholders and the stockholders. I think they depend on them as long as we have constant amount of investors. I think we can be able to pull this off.
Okay. We have to go at least a minute over time, but I have to ask this question because you see, this mechanism of digital money is still under scrutiny because we barely have some regulations. At least I can talk about the Philippines, but I just don't know with Malaysia or Indonesia. Um, our regulators are still coming up with specific rules, policies to govern this. That's the reason why I'm asking if there are some barriers with you adopting the green money. And with that said, what do you think would be the best way to address this concern?
Like I said, we won't be able to how do I tell this? We won't be able to develop the app right away. As of the moment, the app is not yet ready, and we will keep developing and improving the app relevant to the time. So the features of the app will be relative to the innovations we will have in the future. Like, this is not a one-time solution. It will be passed on by 2030, by 2040. So hopefully by then we don't have any of these barriers anymore.
Okay, let's just hope and pray that things will
Yes.
go on smoothly by the time that you implement this project. Okay, thank you so much for your answers. I now turn you over to our moderator. Sir?
Thank you very much, Professor Allen. So thank you very much for the team, of course, and well done to Delpida and for the perceptive case, and of course, the input from the judges as well. Continuing the session with the fifth group, let's welcome the Akais. With team members Nur Arifah binti Azidin, Nurul Alia Najwa binti Yehya, Casey Levelin Dimalanta, and Icha Nurkoliso. So for the team, as usual, please turn on your cameras, and for everyone, let's witness their video on what we should do to achieve quality education in ASEAN countries.
Hello everyone, this is Team Akai for the first ASEAN Future Sustainable Leaders regional level competition. And this time, we will talk about what we should do to achieve quality education in the ASEAN countries.
My name is Alia.
I am Ari.
I am Casey.
And my name is Icha.
Let's take a closer look at SDG number 4, quality education.
Have you ever wondered what our world would be without quality education? Imagine a young girl who grew up without education. As a kid, all she did was to do housework. Her family does not support education and believes that it is a waste of time. As time passes by, she finds herself moving out of their house, lives in a jeopardizing environment where it is normal to steal, live on the streets, and do drugs. She also cannot get a proper job because she does not have an educational degree. Now, she ended up having a lot of kids because she is not aware of the family planning things. Then the cycle goes on.
As we have seen from the short clip, not everyone has the opportunity to achieve quality education. This is a real-life situation happening in countries in sub-Saharan Africa where over 32 million children are uneducated, and parts of Asia where more than 27 million children do not have the chance to go to school. The leading cause? Poverty. This factor is the reason why a lot of children drop out of school at an early age. Some of them also develop malnutrition due to poverty. Another problem in achieving quality education is rooted from the educational system itself. For example, in public schools in the Philippines, there is also a lack of investment allocated for education, as stated by the Global Partnership for Education or GPE.
These international and regional issues contributed to the idea of perpetuating educational vulnerability. The SDG 4 quality education is one of the United Nations 2030 agenda, which focuses on the holistic development of the students regardless of inequalities. Obtaining knowledge through education can give us the power that we need to change the world. The lack of quality education serves as a barrier in achieving global advancement. Thus, as a part of the ASEAN Future Sustainable Leaders and as students in our own respective countries, we aim to give light to these issues. We are proposing the solutions in hopes of contributing to the attainment of SDG 4.
Our team aimed to solve the problems regarding the SDG 4 quality education, which cover the SDG 1 no poverty and SDG 3 good health and well-being. We believe that all the problems related to quality education are tied to each other. Thus, we offer a program called the ASEAN Quality Education Forum, or AQUEF. The AQUEF will feature the identified problems in achieving quality education in the Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia as a starter, and when it succeeds, it will reach out to other member countries of the ASEAN.
When it gets further successful, the forum can expand to by inviting delegates from the European Union, United States, and Australia. The forum will focus on your identified problems and their solution but will be participated by researchers, psychologists, linguists, and other educational experts, including health experts. We aim to engage the government of each and every country. Through this program, it will be more efficient to tackle all the issues surrounding the quality of education.
Overall, quality education is a prerequisite of change. It should be prioritized above other concerns since through knowledge and awareness obtained by quality education, we can achieve other SDGs and make a big impact on the world. That's all from the Yakais, and we believe that no child should be left behind.
Thank you very much to the Akai's team. So I can see that all of you are here now. So that's very great. So without further ado, you may begin the 6-minute pitching session starting from now.
Hello everyone, my name is Ari. I am Casey.
I am Alia.
Sorry, my name is Icha. And we are the Archives. Like the famous quote of the Spider-Man movie, great power comes with a great responsibility. We want to use our knowledge regarding this situation of world to make a change. We have chosen to study SDG 4, which focuses on quality education. We believe that no child should be left behind. Everyone has the right to achieve education. Eliminating factors that threaten development on our world is essential. We believe that poverty is the biggest issue that leads to inequalities and health concerns, are the roots why there is a lack of quality education in our world today.
Before we start, may we ask if you have a guess of how many children are left uneducated as of today? I think you can just chat it in the chat box if like you have a guess or something. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the right answer for that is actually 256 million. So you see, 256 million lives are at stake because of the lack of quality education. Imagine if this cycle goes on, as you have seen in our animation. So this fear of what's about to come is the reason why we're all here, brainstorming solutions to achieve our goals. But to understand the need to tackle this phenomenon, let's first dig deeper into the problems our world is facing today with regards to the quality of education. Teacher.
Education is everyone's right. However, a lot of factors affect the ability of children to achieve quality education. In sub-Saharan Africa and parts of Asia, millions of children are unable to achieve education. Poverty is the leading cause. Some children drop out because of malnutrition. Some of them drop out because they need to work. This is a very common sight in our countries, in Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines.
In fact, the inspiration behind the reason why we choose SDG 4 as our topic is because of child labor. Seeing children selling snacks and candies on the street is so common, and we believe that you are also aware of this situation.
For example, an article by Humanium also states that children from sub-Saharan Africa receive less than 4 years of education. In addition, due to poverty, classrooms are also limited. Thus, overcrowding is common.
Public schools in the Philippines also tend to get overcrowded, making education vulnerable to the effects of natural disasters, as we have seen like now, right? There's a typhoon occurring right now. So aside from that, only 20% of the global budget allocated for funding education goes to low-income countries. These countries tend to rely solely on this 20% budget and refuse to invest a portion of their national funds to the education sector.
These are the reasons why we thought of creating the Asian Quality Education Forum, AQUEF. We are aware of how sensitive the factors contributing to the lack of quality education are. Thus, this forum aims to unite professionals who specialize in the academic sector and children affairs. We also aim to engage the government along with national student organizations of each country in this movement, since we know that they play a huge role in the improvement of the quality of education, and every child has the right to voice out their opinions.
You must be wondering how we can change the quality of education by talking in the forum with a bunch of kids. Now, let me ask you, how can we change the quality of education if the older generations won't even listen to the students that are facing the struggles? Younger generations should be guided, not forced into a simplified way of thinking. Students can have the opportunity to speak up about serious matters such as bullying, poor quality teachers, lack of facilities, sexual harassment, and many more. We plan to start with our countries since through our research, we were able to find common problems that occur in our respective countries.
Also, through this forum, every country can share their experience on the different methods to fix their education system, and they can get inspiration on trying new innovative methods. For example, by using technology, establishing student organizations, increasing the teachers' wage, and providing free education for all. We believe these efforts can make a big change in education for our world. The COVID-19 pandemic showed us that we can change.
The forum will serve as a program that can be under Global Partnership for Education. Since GPE handles the global funds for education, the forum can serve as an advocacy for raising awareness and advocating proper budget allocations within their country. The forum can also encourage countries to invest money on the Global Fund for Education and highlight its importance.
Overall, we believe that the quality of education is the most important factor that can contribute to the advancement of our world today. Instead of comparing one another, we want to unite nations and seek inspiration from one another. In a time where our screens serve as a divide, let the forum be a platform where we can link ideas and create equitable solutions for each country. Once again, we are the Akais, and we hope to unite everyone in this battle and make sure that no child is left behind. We are now opening the floor for questions.
All right. Thank you very much. So now let us move on with the Q&A session from our panel of judges. So going on with our normal flow, Dean Paz, would you like to start the Q&A?
I will always be the one to
Yeah.
start from the beginning up to the end.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dean Paz.
So your video is about quality education, and it is very nice to hear that your from the youth, you have this kind of recommendation, or based on your opinion, this is what you want to do. So my question is, can you please summarize the steps on how you're going to implement your program of solutions to attain quality education? So just a summary. Just a summary.
Can I speak? Okay. So for the first step that we have thought about is to engage the students by creating student organizations. So one example is here in the Philippines, we actually have NUSP. So that is the National Union for Students of the Philippines. So basically their job is to communicate the issues from the students to the government. Yes. So we believe that that is the step one. So like uniting the students. For the step two is like the forum is actually a program. So we think that the Global Partnership for Education can actually adopt this program because a forum is actually good. And we think that involving students are like student organizations, governments, and professionals in this area is actually a good idea in developing methods or like ways to aid in the quality of education. Yes. So that's our main idea. But actually, it can also be improved if this program would reach in higher levels.
Okay. Will there be the next, after uniting the students, what would be the next? Would that be enough?
No, ma'am. Uniting the students is actually just step one. Actually, participating in the forum along with the students is the biggest like step that we can make, because pitching in the problems that they face as students through this forum is actually a big.
They can share their experience on the different methods, just like what I said just now. When they combine each other's experiences and methods, they will come into many solutions. Solution is not sorry.
We
A
are
solution.
aware.
Yeah.
We are aware that the solutions are not applicable for everyone. That's why we said in our presentation that we want to make equitable solutions. And through this forum, we can actually further discuss this kind of factors.
Okay, thank you. So that the others can ask.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Dean Paz. Dr. ID?
Yeah, thank you, bro. Okay, I have just two questions. Yeah. Okay, number one, okay, very good. Issues on education. Yeah, your team brought up. And also I love the motto tadi lah, no children left behind. So it's very true indeed, and I think that's the fight lah, for my generation to ensure the future generations are not left behind because of the poverty and and other factors. Right. So your group proposed a forum, right?
Yes, sir.
And am I right? That's the only initiative, only the forum. There is no other initiative, detailed initiative, right? Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We actually had solutions like in our minds, but at the same time, we considered that other countries have barriers like culture, traditions, religion. For example, in Malaysia and Indonesia, they have child marriages, right? So if we try to propose a solution to solve their problems, we think that it's kind of insensitive since we know that there are sensitive topics like that. So, yes.
Okay. Kalau Alia, how about you? Do you think because when you go beyond your country, right? Definitely there'll be sensitive issues, right, among other countries, right? So do you want to take this as a challenge or as a problem, Alia?
I think I would take it as a challenge because we live in a very diverse world, even the Asian have so many cultures and religion, and of course we have to respect that. But at the same time, we have to look at the positive side on a way to improve our quality education, because if quality education is not improved, then the country might fall down. The poverty rate will rise, and the people will live in a lot of trouble.
Okay, Icha, do you think that able to work more beyond your country provide opportunity in these issues of quality education?
Pardon, sir?
Okay, All right. Just now, being able, the opportunity to work beyond your country, right? Okay, this forum, your group proposing, at the moment maybe consists of three countries, right? Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then each society have their own culture and some sensitive issues. So just now, Adia said, okay, this could be opportunity to work together. So do you think this? Okay, what can you learn from this opportunity working together from three different countries in achieving, addressing the issues of quality of education? Opportunity je.
I think as students, we can speak up in student organizations.
Okay, speaking up, from your own experience, right? From different countries, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. One last question, Prof, very short one. Okay, Arifah.
Sorry, the connection.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you, Icha. Arifah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just now in the video, in the problem statement, right? Okay, your group mentioned about sub-Saharan countries.
Yes.
And the other countries, right? What are the other countries?
The other countries.
Yeah.
Philippines, Malaysia,
Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia.
Okay. Are you sure you mentioned about Malaysia and Indonesia?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Malaysia
yeah. Are you sure? No, you didn't mention. You just mentioned about the problems. The problems. Yeah, you just mentioned about the sub-Saharan and also the Philippines only, right? So it's kind of interesting to for me. So in Malaysia and Indonesia, so there is no issue of quality education. Like raised by your group due to poverty and due to need.
Sir, actually, we have said that common site in Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines are actually child labor. So, yeah.
Okay. How about Arifah?
Those parts of Asia are actually targeted, like, with regards to poverty.
Okay,
So,
right.
in
Kalau
general.
Arifah pula, what's your opinion, your view?
From my point of view, and as a student, I think child marriage is number one. Child labor too. From my experience, I asked some of my friends that drop out of school. They think that education is not important because nowadays students can just go and find some big brands, makeup brands, and be an agent, and they can just make money from that. So they cannot see what is the importance of the education, and I think that is a problem. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, group.
Thank you so much. Now, for your last question.
Can I add something, please?
Go ahead.
So there is a lot of students that still lack learning motivation here. And that's also a big factor. And also there are lack of teachers' well-being and professionalism that I think is one of the biggest factors that affects the quality of education in Indonesia.
All right. Thank you so much for that input, Icha. Okay. So for my question, I'm sure that you have already attended fora, a series of forums and all, listening now to the predicaments, the challenges of each member of the community and all. And then we also hear suggestions on how to improve things. But the problem is after the forum has been conducted, we barely see succeeding steps to reach our ultimate goal, like in this case, to improve the quality of education. So how do you think can we address this concern that after conducting a forum, everything stops and nothing happens?
Sir, like what we proposed, this forum, we are proposing that it should be under Global Partnership for Education because we know that that is a bigger organization that has a wider scale. And at the same time, yes, this forum can actually raise awareness and develop methods that can solve these problems. But at the same time, we want the commitment of each and every government or each and every country to like implement this solutions. Like we believe that it is very feasible if they are more involved and not just because of the forum and stuff. Yes.
Yes, I do agree. However, after listening to some fora rather, if we look already at the government intervention, like in terms of budget allocation, I don't think education is getting a big chunk of the entire national budget. So that leads us to a conclusion that at times these discussions are really not effective. Your thoughts on this?
Mm,
Do you get what I mean? It's like
yes.
people would just nod, say yes, but after the forum, they would do nothing, and they would just do whatever they want based on their own interests, perhaps.
I think this forum is like an initial idea that can be further improved. Because we plan to like okay, here's what I think. So
Go ahead, relax.
like developing organizations, student organizations in specifically are like they have voices, but at the same time people don't usually listen to them. Like you're just students, you'll it's just a phase or something like that. But like we believe that if we create a forum and let the professionals like speak, you know, we believe that it would be more mind opening. Because for me, actually, right, are like before we did this case competition, I was not aware of the different factors that affects quality education. But when I searched about it more, I actually realized the effects it has on our country. So I believe that the awareness is what the forum can bring, but at the same time, the methods should be implemented by the government.
Would the other members of the group want to augment what she said?
I would like to add something.
Go ahead.
So the forum will also its purpose is to also propose to the government to make policies about new policies about quality of education, because I think they have the power to do so. So yes.
Also, like we said before, it is a place for students to speak up. When students, younger generations, and you guys know that younger generations is a bit wild when it's come to social media and all. And I think it will be a great opportunity for them. But yeah.
Thank you so much. Let's give Ali also a chance to talk.
Oh, I think about your question earlier, how we are able to implement it, or when we implement it, but it doesn't work. I think that's why we built this forum to combine all organization that is caring for the students and child matter. So we can see that if we combine almost all of the organization, then we can make things work. Because if the organization are separated, some of them might just want a name. For example, like, oh, this organization is better, and the other organization, which they just show. I mean, they work. Okay, they give a solution, but just for the name. But instead of the organization that really want to help are forgotten. That's I think.
Okay, thank you so much for your insights regarding this SDG, and all the best in all your endeavors. Let's go back now to our moderator.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Lin. So thank you very much to the team for the wonderful session and the presentation as well, especially the Spider-Man reference. It's very important to keep up with the current trends while spreading awareness. So we would like to thank all the teams who have successfully pitched the ideas which center a keen focus on sustainability. Your vision definitely plays a key part in contributing to the SDGs. And of course, our wonderful panel of judges. Now, we will have a break and continue with the next groups at 2:30 p.m. sharp. For groups 1 until 5, we strongly encourage you to join after the break to witness other teams during their session. For groups 6 and 7, do make sure you're ready beforehand. Until then, you can prepare yourselves in the meantime, and we will see you guys in the same Zoom meeting after the break. Thank you, everyone.
Going to come back.
You have to log out,
You can,
or we can
we'll
just stay.
continue back at 2:30.
There is a, no, we joined the VIP's room.
Yeah, sure.